Welcome back to another edition of Use of English with Olumide Oregbemi. So today we're going to continue with the series we have been teaching for some time. I think this is the second class on comprehension passages, how to answer, understand, and answer questions on comprehension passages. Now, today I have been able to extract this from the 2022 past question, JAMB past question. And we want to look at the practical way you can read and understand your comprehension passage. So the first thing you need to do is to understand that your exam is a time-based exam, and you would not have the luxury of time to keep reading and reading and reading. So the first thing you would need to do is to go through the question, because there are different methods of reading a comprehension passage and understanding it. And of course, whether or not you would read the passage largely depends on the type of exams. There are some exams that you may not necessarily read the whole comprehension passage for understanding. You need to scan through after you have gone through your question, because the available time will not permit you to read through. And this is where I pity those who do not easily understand a passage. Now, I can understand that some people don't understand comprehension passages for so many reasons, which I'm going to address much later, but not in this video. Now, so going back to this, for you to understand this passage, you need to be determined that you want to read this and you want to understand. So you would realize that there are two characters. In fact, before I analyze it, let's read it together. One day, Nandu rode his horse to the village fair. On his way back, he met Somendra, the merchant. The merchant was a crafty man, ready to do anything to earn some money. The village knew this. In fact, no one knew what trick he would be up to next. Now, Nandu was poor and had no one in the world to call his own except a beautiful white horse. He loved it more than anything else in the world. The merchant had his eyes on the horse for a long time and tried to think of a way to get it for himself. Seeing Nandu, the merchant thought Nandu is a simpleton. Now, there are two characters. We have Nandu and Somendra. We have been given the character trait of each character, because that will help you understand the character trait of the two characters involved in the passage. Now, we have also been told that one is poor and one is crafty. Okay? Now, let's look for who is poor. Here, you can see it says, now, Nandu was poor and had no one in the world to call his own except a beautiful white horse. This is an indicator to the kind of status that Nandu has in this passage. Now, as for the other character, who is where's his name now? Okay, on his way back, he met Somendra. So Somendra is the second character. We're told that Somendra is a merchant, and he's not just a merchant; he's a crafty man, meaning he is a businessman, and then he's also crafty. Now, if you are to analyze this word crafty, that's why I told you that vocabulary has a role to play in understanding the passage. The word crafty could mean any of these two things. One, it could mean skillful person, that is, somebody who is skillful at what he does. At the other side of it, it could also mean somebody who dupes others. Okay, somebody who dupes others, somebody who is a sly. You understand? Somebody who is not straightforward in his dealings. So, if you don't have an idea of that word, or you only have one idea of the ambiguous meaning of that word, you are most likely to confuse the meaning of crafty in this context. And that's why vocabulary plays a major role in understanding a comprehension passage. Now, having known this, you have seen the two characters involved, you have seen their status. The first status says, the first character has a poor status, the second character has a crafty nature. Now, the one that has a crafty nature was still interested in trying to, convert the poor man's horse, which was all he had in his life, was trying to, convert it to his own. Because when you get to the tail end of the passage, you would see that when Samendra saw Nandu, he thought Nandu was a simpleton. Now, another thing is, who is a simpleton? A simpleton is, we can describe such person as a soft-minded person, but such a soft-minded person lacks common sense. Okay, a soft-minded person who lacks common sense. So when you're a simpleton, you are an easygoing person, but you don't have common sense. Okay, I didn't say that so that you don't feel offended. It's a dictionary that says that. So when you check a dictionary, you will see that a simpleton is a soft-minded person who lacks common sense. Now, so he thought that he was a simpleton. If you go to the end of the story, you would see what unfolded in the story. So I hope with my explanation that for you to understand a passage, you need to understand the characters in the passage, you need to understand their roles, you need to understand their status, you need to understand the environment. Okay, in literature, we call that the settings. You need to understand the settings, okay, of the story in the passage. Then you need to understand what transpires between the characters. For instance, these two characters live together in the same setting, and one is trying to play the fast one on the other, but of course, the other is not foolish. So, with this, you'll be able to understand your passage. Bear at the back of your mind that if you don't understand your vocabulary, it is most likely that you may not have a full understanding of what a passage is actually talking about. I hope you have learned something today. I want to give you an assignment to do. That's a homework, and every class I'll be doing that. So I'll give you a homework, and then you have to submit your homework in the comment section. But before I give you the homework, if you're watching this video for the very first time or you are stumbling on it for the first time, please give it a like, please follow and share to as many people as you can. If you do this, it will make the video go viral. So the homework I'm going to give you right now is a vocabulary. So I'll write it somewhere. So today's vocabulary will be ambiguous. I want you to search for the meaning of ambiguous, and in the comment section, tell me what you think ambiguous is. I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.